May our thoughts have a truthful feel to them and feel like pebbles in a clear stream. May our words flow seamlessly and touch every soul. I shall be speaking on a subject which is very, very close to my heart. Health and service, the journey of a teardrop to the ocean. Let me take you back in time. There was this little boy who wanted to fly fighter jets, be part of battles, and be remembered for his valor. But his father had a different vision. He wanted him to become a doctor and go back to the village and serve people there where he was born. There was another incident that had a very positive impact on this little boy when he grew up. While watching a movie at his neighbor's place, Shashi Kapoor, I think most of you know, was posted as a young police officer in a forlorn village, being punished from the city, sent to the remote. And how this young officer goes to an unmanned thana in shambles, and how he brings about a revolutionary change by not cursing the systems and making the most of the available resources. This story had a very inspiring effect on this little boy, and that little boy is standing in front of you, and that is me. Thanks to the TED platform, the Caledonian, for having done the unthinkable here, got around people with beautiful minds and wisdom, and I'm humbled to be a part of all this. A few decades ago, precisely 13 years back, a group of few mad men and women, including Dr. Suresh Kaul sitting here, shifted from Delhi to extend advanced cardiac services at a place which is no more considered remote. And since then, God has been probably working for us through these few madmen and women. Rural health service is a mission. Although the divide between the rural and the urban is dwindling day by day as we are taking 4 lanes to the glaciers, but the difference between the available logistics is definitely there between the hills and the plains. And people here are innocent. They understand the language of God. So it has been really a humbling experience to be here and serve among people who understand this language. God has been really kind. No healing, no treatment can work without love, care, and trust and compassion. Have you seen a mother, how she nurses her newborn who has fever, how she applies potions, gives wet sponges, sings lullabies? Well, to me, she is the first doctor, a healer, a therapist, I must say. This is feeling that all of us need to have who are giving health care, feeling of that mother. And with the advent of AI, as you know, all of you call it, artificial intelligence, it will be a challenge. It will pose a big challenge of how we will inculcate new systems into healthcare and yet retain the humane touch. And I tell you, no treatment is possible, is successful, till the time you have healing touch, compassion and care. Now when 2 souls, 2 bodies come together, one of them is ailing and another is, so one is a receiver and another is a giver. And they can shift sides anytime. You know, the receiver can be the giver and giver can be the receiver. While the receiver has to have utmost trust, unflinching faith in the giver has to take his energy to such a level, because it's all about energy transfers, to such a level that whatever it touches has the divine touch from God. And that is possible only if you have the right intention, the compassion, the care. You must have heard, most of us have heard about that story where a king saved his prince and died himself. I used to hear that. And this is the feeling that all of us need to have heard. Giving health care, who are the givers, take your energy to such a level, selfless, that whatever you touch has the faith of God. Now, I'll be a little, go towards a little humor side. This is about those days when I was, I'd just come out of training and had started learning the art of opening blockages and putting in pacemakers. That zeal, initial zeal. That time when you think that you're probably propelling the solar system, everything is because of you. There's a time in all of us we start feeling that. So, before going for operations, I used to get a certain bowel surge within my own self. So I would go and sit on the pot, then pray, and then go to the operation theatre and come out with a successful result. Now, as I gained experience, 3, 4 years, 5 years, my bowel surges went down a bit because I was less anxious now. But still, I thought that probably my sitting on the pot was a good omen. So I used to sit on the pot, pray, and then go and operate, and the results would be the same. So as I grew in years and wisdom, a few years back, I developed this courage that let me stop sitting on the pot. Let me give up the ritual. But I didn't stop praying, because that is one thing that I never stop until the time I'm alive. So I didn't sit on the pot. I went to the prayer room, went to the operation theatre, came out with a successful result. And that is perhaps for the first time that I understood that famous Gita quote that action is your duty and reward is not thy concern. I tell you, we shall be doing a lot of service to ourselves, to our patients, if we disconnect ourselves from the outcomes. And we'll be more successful. Because that eye on an outcome, it makes you nervous. Another story I'll tell you. We were training. Dr. Neelam was also with me that day. And there was this doctor, a senior one, who had come to teach us the skills of opening blockages and heart attacks. He had come from abroad. So he told us to fix up a case. So we put a case on the table. And we got the case ready. We called him and said, "So we are ready." He said, "Have you done the Mama Papa test?" Now, we had never heard of it. So we looked at each other, bewildered. We didn't know what is he talking about. There were a lot of people in the operation room that day wanting to see him operate, because he's a very, very senior surgeon. So we asked him, "Sir, what is this Mama Papa test?" He said, "Imagine that the person who's lying on the table is your mother or father. Are you going to take the same decision that you're taking for this gentleman or lady that you would take for your kith and kin?" It was a very profound statement. And since that day, all those people sitting in that, who were doing the case in that operation theatre, I think most of us have been following that. And it has made decision making very easy. I have operated on my father 3 times. He is no more now. Because it was easy now. When you see everyone as your father, so you don't become anxious when your own father is on the table. I'd like to summarize on a poetic note. I'm a poet as well. And it's inspired from one of my friend's mother, whom we couldn't save. She left us. We tried a lot. After 4 days, there was another family whose we were able to operate successfully. And the young boy, whose father we had operated, came forward and touched our feet, both mine and Neelam's, and said, "You are second God." Now there was this paradoxical feeling within my own self. Because God is only one who resides in all of us, there are no firsts and seconds. And out came this verse I like to tell you about. Then I wrote something. वो आए और हमसे कहने लगे, आप तो जमीन के खुदा। वो आए और हमसे कहने लगे, आप तो जमीन के खुदा। और मैंने चुपके से मुस्कुराया, क्योंकि कुछ रोज पहले ही मैं एक मौत को मिल के आया। एक जरिए से बढ़कर कुछ नहीं। खुदा मेरे अंदर उतना ही है जितना मेरे मरीजों में। न उठाओ मुझे इतना यारों के कल, जब मैं खता करूं उस पल, तुम मुझे माफ न कर सको और मुझे गिरने में मुश्किल। जमीन से हूं वही रहने दो, इन जज्बातों को मुझे भी कहने दो। मुझ में खुदा है ये सही है, मुझ में खुदा है ये सही है, पर मैं ही खुदा हूं ऐसा नहीं। Thank you. I would like to finish on a prayer again. Oh God, if there is life after this life, may I be born as your instrument again. May I be born as a doctor again. Thanks, sir.